Welcome back. Why do you suddenly stop caring about weight loss? You find yourself saying, I just know that I'm fed up, but there's always comes a point where I say, I don't really care about being fat. This is a video. I'm going to break it down for you. Now, I saw this online. See if you can relate to it. I've been trying to lose weight for 5 years. I've been overweight my whole life. I've lost a lot of weight before, so I know I can do it. But there's something inside my brain that gets in the way every time I try. It's like I'm motivated for 2 weeks, but for example, if I go out to eat with my family on holiday and I don't stick to my diet, everything goes to hell. And I start my bad habits of eating literally everything I see. This lasts for about 2 to 3 months until I become aware again that I hate my body and want to change it. And the cycle repeats itself. I don't know what I can do, what things I can apply to myself, what questions to ask myself. I just know that I'm fed up, but there always comes a point where I say, I don't really care about being fat. Click like if that's something you can relate to. You're not the only one going through that. This is literally what someone said online in an online forum called Reddit. So you're not the only one. I feel for you. And we want to break this down so you can process it effectively and get the results you want, lead to healthy and fulfilling life of your dreams. Now, if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance. I help business owners lose weight and feel their best without crash diets or guilt. If you run into situations a lot where you feel like quitting, take the free 3-minute Live Aligned scorecard below to unblock, uncover anything, figure out what's going on so you can get clear next steps to fix it. Now, first thing, when it comes to not caring or giving up or quitting or thinking it doesn't matter, decide whether it matters to you. Like, that's the first step. If you are unsure or if you go back and forth on that, then you don't really have the motivation or the vision in order to keep you in line with that. So first step, decide if you don't mind being fat. Now, something to point out, that sounds weird to say, it's so straightforward, especially as a guilt-free health coach, but you can have fat and be happy. Like, I had to point this out to people. People of all body types deserve happiness and joy and enjoyment and quality of life and fulfillment. And a lot of people live that life despite what you might think from social media or society or just a general picture of your perception, like anything like that. That stuff doesn't matter. What matters, in my opinion, is that you have a sense of satisfaction about your life and how you want to lead it. So you can do that with any body type that you have. That's something essential to point out, and that happens all the time. And also, you don't have to hate yourself for that. If you decide that's the life that you want to lead, then embrace that. And you don't have to feel bad about that. Like, that's just how your body looks and how you want your body to look, and the combination of your genetics, environments, and choices. So, like, that is so fundamental to me that I could go make a whole separate video on that. And if that's how you feel and that's what's good for you, then do it, right? My channel is all about asking the question, what does a healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams look like? I want you to consider that critically for yourself and make that decision from an empowered place that respects your own autonomy. Now, beyond that, when we're going past that, don't base whether you care about having fat on the difficulty of losing weight. Focus on this question: what does a healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams look like? And then get resources to build that life. Now, some parts of the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams will be difficult. You might have to go to school, go to college, get an advanced degree. You might have to have challenging conversations with like a romantic partner, right? Like, there's going to be hard things that you have to do in order to feel the sense of satisfaction or to build the life that you want. So don't let the difficulty of something be the reason that you can't do it. Applies to all areas of life, like dating or learning skills or anything. So if you want to do something and feel more fulfilled with the life that you're building, do that. And don't base it on how hard you think it is, right? Focus on your path to fulfillment and then get the support you need. If something's hard for you, talk to different people, professional coaches, medical treatments, health coaching, education, anything like that. Group support, like, there's a long list of ways that you can make your journey easier, especially if you find it fulfilling. Don't give up just because something's hard. That's cowardice, right? No, make informed decisions based on what you really want for yourself instead of shying away from challenges that you find important. Now, two separate rants. Hopefully, I don't have any more big ones. Next thing I wanted to say, motivation. How most people think of it is an emotion. Now, when you talk about, I covered it a lot on this channel about weight loss motivation, how to stay focused when you lose motivation or when motivation fails. That's because a lot of people like the connotation of it, the public atmosphere, the feeling, the vibe of the word is about an emotion. But it's not really fair to expect consistent emotions because that's not how emotions work. They're like rhythmic. They are, they work in cycles according to different experiences. Like you don't expect yourself to always be happy. You know that sometimes things will make you sad or you'll just be neutral or content, right? But for a reason, probably unconsidered reasons, people believe that, they have to feel motivated for weight loss and healthy eating and going to the gym throughout their whole journey. And it's not really going to help you make effective decisions. So think about this for a second. How most people think of emotions and motivation can hold you back. Now, what we want to do, I talked about this a lot in my other video, how to stay motivated to work out without feeling bad about yourself. I'll link that below. Instead of relying on motivation, what we want to do is have a realistic and sustainable plan for eating that doesn't conflict with the life that you want to live. Especially when this person was talking about, I went on vacation with my family and made a few unhealthy choices and then never got back on track. If you have a realistic and sustainable plan for eating, that doesn't conflict with either of those things, any of those things, right? You should be able to go out to eat with family and enjoy the foods that you like, or understand how your foods support your goals and all that stuff. What most people will do and where they get stuck is acting like they can't go out to eat with friends or family or people they love when they're on a diet, right? You'll just be like, all right, well, I'm cutting out all sugar and all fried foods, and now I can't eat anything, right? Which isn't true in the first place, but also it causes people to restrict their relationships, or it causes them to go out and eat these foods and deny their own plans for how they're eating because their plans weren't realistic and sustainable in the first place. Now, what happens when you do that, you're obviously not being honest with yourself, and it ends up that you're going to break those rules and feel bad about yourself for not being consistent with the plans you made, but you didn't make realistic plans in the first place. So that's why I talk about on the channel, making realistic plans essential to following through. So it's sustainable for you in different situations, an adaptive plan that works for you. Next topic to get on to with this discussion that we're having, off track eating habits last for 2 to 3 months. Happens, common mistake, right? What I want to say here is that's a collection of individual choices. People will get stuck when they fall off a diet and they act like they have to climb back on or anything like that. Each of these choices is individual. Like there's the slippery slope fallacy is an actual fallacy, and it doesn't have to be like that. All right. So when you're talking about 2 to 3 months, you're talking about 60 days, like 2 months is 60 days, 3 times per day, maybe a couple snacks. That's like 180 individual choices of disregarding your health. That is a huge challenge. That's like self-inflicted. And we want to assess this critically and take ownership so we can redirect those choices and lead to healthy, fulfilling life of our dreams. Now, if you are not sure if that's what you want to do, then that'll be part of it. But you want to think through this, right? You're free to make these choices. Just be real about them, right? If you give up on your meal plan, or if it's too hard or unsustainable or unrealistic and you don't want to do it anymore, that's okay. That's a fair choice. That's acceptable. That's up to you. You're in charge of your life, right? It just depends on if you decide to make a change. Now, if you've decided, hey, I don't like how these pants are fitting me, or I don't like how I feel when I look in the mirror, those kinds of things, then you want to make some adjustments that reflect that. And just be honest with yourself. Take charge of that. Don't just give up because you think it's too hard. Just make a realistic plan instead. All right. Instead, here, take a look to see what leads you to make those decisions in a case by case basis, or overall, if it's been 180 meals of less healthy choices, then assess and figure out what's going on there. Some of the common things you'll run into, A lot of people will get stuck. They'll feel discouraged because they don't prioritize their weight loss or health goals. They can imagine that they don't care, or they don't think it's that important, or it's impossible or difficult for them to make choices that match their goals in their environment, right? So if it's really hard for you to do that, if there's lots of social pressure, peer pressure, you don't have access to these foods, you don't know the importance of healthy eating, right? You don't care about how you look and your appearance, right? Those are all reasons that you wouldn't like make changes, right? Or you would have a hard time getting back on track. But if you wanted to, you could find a realistic plan to help guide you. A health coach. I'm here making a lot of YouTube videos that you can watch. You can send me a message. I'll be glad to help. Right. So this is just things to look out for when you're making consistently harmful choices towards your goals or against your goals. Right. Next, this person mentioned hating their body. This is something that comes up a lot in the weight loss space, especially on these online forums where, you know, people say how they're really feeling. And I understand like that's how you're really feeling. We want to take a closer look and see what's going to help you make effective choices to change how you feel or to get you to feel more like how you want to feel. So if you hate your body, that's going to make a lot of things more challenging. You don't have to hate your body in order to want to change it. Like this person mentioned, like it gets bad enough and I hate my body enough and then I get back on track. That's not the determining factor for whether you make sustainable changes. That's what I said here. It's not the biggest factor in whether you stick to your weight loss plan. It's more about if it's realistic and sustainable for you. And in fact, I covered this in another video, a link below. Feeling fat, weight loss won't fix that. The studies show that many people in low self-esteem make less effective choices because they hate themselves and they think they deserve it, or any number of reasons go into that. But hating yourself, hating your body, feeling bad about yourself doesn't motivate you to make healthier choices. It motivates you to cope with that by eating less healthy foods or like a binge eating episode, right? And that's what I put here. Because of that intense psychological pain from the self-hate, then eating more is one of the few things that can provide comfort because it feels like you're directly in control. So you'll reassert your autonomy by doing that. And that unfortunately is a common situation. So assess if that's holding you back or that's a factor. You may want to talk with a mental health professional, a therapist. And I would love for you to feel supported in that. I have health coaching programs and systems like the Live Aligned method that helps you work around that so you don't have to hate yourself in order to get the results you want. I have a system that helps you build your vision so you understand what you want, why you want it, what the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams looks like, the focus, so you know what specific steps to take for yourself that are realistic and sustainable for you, and in a practice so you don't fall off track for 2 to 3 months. You can get back, make adjustments, and follow through and get the results that you want. So that way you don't have to go through all this other stuff that makes you feel bad. It makes you feel like you don't care when you know you care. If you do, you can get the support resources, talk to your doctor, you know, work with me, anything like that to help you out, get you on track. All right. And that's what the Live Aligned method is about. The scorecard is linked below. It's a free 3-minute quiz that you can take to figure out where you are now and get your next best steps. Let me know what you think in the comments. I covered a lot. What I really want to point out is that like you get to pick if you care about how you look, how you feel, what the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams looks like. And if you feel too discouraged, then you're going to have a hard time. But if you see a little bit of hope, a little bit of joy in what the future could look like for you, and you do care about these things, let me know. I'll be glad to help. And then next, you can watch Do You Have to Hate Your Body? And it's not just for new moms. This is for people who are having a challenge with understanding that how you look isn't exactly who you are. I'll put that video here. That's today's message. As always, keep practicing. Peace.